How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. It is DevCon season out there in Ethereum land, and hope everybody's doing really well. And if you're having some good times in Thailand, love to hear about it on the daily in Ethfinance, and now also in our Ethereum, making the Ethereum subreddit a place to go if you want to hit a different daily chat. Try to talk to some folks over there. And anyway, JT here on behalf of the Ethfinance community on Reddit and now our Ethereum community on Reddit. Thanks to the EV Mavericks for once again hosting this happy hour for this day. Give us a thumbs up and smash a bell if you haven't already done so. The Weekly Doots live stream is all about showcasing the best of the week from the Ethfinance community on Reddit. This is a read-along reaction series, and if you want to follow along, head to dailydoots.com, designed and produced by Hani Abu. Big thanks to Tricky Troll for capturing and curating each day's Doots, and the A word for curating this most beloved weekly list. Subscribe to us on Apple and iTunes. Just search Ethfinance EV Mavericks. We're also available on Libsyn, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. Mint this episode for free at pods.media/EV Mavericks. If you're watching this stream on Discord, if you're watching my second window on Discord, make sure to mute that window to avoid any echoes. And as always, if you know somebody who wants a piece of this action, send them my way. All right, we're going to jump right into the opening remarks here. We got to go do the rundown of the rich list. We have ethical trade at 102, set one less at 103, crypto wild currency at 105, 696_ETH at 111, Harog climbing up 125. Harog this last week got a triple kill on the one of the dailies. So hats off to you, Harog, crushing it out there. Tricky Troll at 128, Logri the Bard at 152, Benito 2030 at 154, and Super Fizz at 218. We have a couple of announcements here. We have Nico from Lotto PGF coming on next Friday. We also have Mac from Kiwi News on December 6th. We've also got Megan Knapp from Franklin Payroll. We need to update the upcoming guests, but Hani Abu will get that on the next one. No worries there. Thank you, Hani, for giving us those updates. Thank you so much. All right, there's our announcements. Let's go ahead and jump right into the morning roundup. Hey, Chibi chimes in. Ethereum, Frank the Tank at 30.69 on the dollar number, and Timbuk9 at 0.03478 on the ratio. The weekly haiku, courtesy of JS Tears. Looking for the stage, the big news on the front page, consensus wastage. Whoa, that's like incredible. Stage 8 page and wastage. Consensus wastage. Ship post of the week, because we always like to save the best for first. User haunted jockstrap 88. Oh, these usernames. User haunted jockstrap 88 chimes in. Why does Ethereum, the more useful of the two chains, not simply eat Bitcoin? Yeah, good question. All right, we're going to go jump into it. We got quite a few Doots this week to cover. User Vdran covers the newest release from L2Beat. User Vdran is a Duder number 23. L2Beat, living up to their name, they released a new dashboard group, Data Availability Layers. You can find it on the L2Beat.com side panel. The wait is over, and then it has a thread by L2Beat. Let's go and open up L2Beat.com. There's your data availability tab over here on the left. Make sure you guys can see that, okay? If I zoom in, maybe I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. Data availability, look at that. Interesting. All kinds of stuff here. Wow, there's so many roll-ups, huh? Interesting. Thank you so much, Vdran, Duder number 23, for that bit of information. User Soup Fizz still isn't convinced by Solana. He writes, I pretty much swore I'd never comment on Solana, but here I am. I see the gains just like you, but I'm still not convinced to buy. It really boils down to a few fundamental principles. A successful smart contract platform needs radical decentralization. We have some of this, but we still need more. Our home solo staker programs are first class, and they could still improve with your help. Solana lacks radical decentralization and is positioning itself as an easy target for future censorship. Ironically, by the time they recognize this need, it'll be too late to get it. Solana is trying to scale at layer 1. I'm not mad. We initially thought this was viable until we realized the only way to achieve worldwide saturation was to adopt the layered approach. Our shift to a layered model has been challenging, but it's clearly working, and it will keep us going well into the foreseeable future. Ethereum continues to be the leader in innovation, capacity, decentralization, and mind share. We don't have to be weak and shy in the face of detractors. They're just like everyone else in the long line of competitors yapping away on Twitter. For me, it always comes back to the strength of the decentralized network. We can still be the best and still expect better. The best thing any of us can do is turn off the ticker and start spinning up home validators. Well said. User Dr. ETH explains how easy it is to fake on-chain metrics. Dr. ETH is a duder number 35, and honestly, one of the people everybody should be following. They always have really good takes. Dr. ETH on the matter of faking on-chain metrics. I want to make this as a top comment and not a reply to user Fecal Receptacle's comment, because I think it would highlight how easy it is to fake a metric like Solana. Fake a metric like this. Solana reached a record 123 million active addresses in October, up over 42% from September, with better visibility. Number 1, take random rollup. In this case, I'll pick Arbitrum. Not even the cheapest, which it should be if I recall correctly. Number 2, take a random transaction from the latest transactions in Arbiscan.io. I picked this one and the list and address here, or a transaction hash. All right, here it is right here. Okay, good. Check its fee. It's 0.000001793 ETH. That's about 5/1000ths of a dollar. Sorry, is that right? Yeah, 5/1000ths of a dollar. Assuming I have number 4, assuming I have absolute control over the network and want to fake engagement, I can set the fee artificially low as to not clog the network up. But assume we can clog the network and pay this exact same fee for every transaction. Really doesn't matter that much. Solana is a centralized network for all intents and purposes anyway. Then set a target. We want 100 million active addresses. Number 5, make a simple script in a very fast systems programming language like Rust or C++, which derives an address from some seed, sends this same transaction or a varied set of transactions. We don't have to make the same exact transaction, but instead have a bunch of different kinds of transactions in a particular array. We send assets to each address from a set of addresses and then run it. Assuming sending the assets costs 0.000015 ETH and sending the transaction 0.000002 ETH. This is a per address cost of 0.000035. I mean, what is that? 35 millionths? A total of 350 ETH for 100 million addresses, which at $2,880 is about $1 million. Faking record high activity on a network costs $1 million USD. Too expensive? Okay. Use a cheaper network. Let's go to Base and pick a random transaction. How about this one? And they have the transaction right here. It shows you the transaction fee, which is like whatever, 2 millionths of an ETH. And the gas price is even lower than that. Crazy low. All right. So, let me get back to it. The cost of this is about whatever, $3 millions or billions of an ETH. Cost of funding the address, a total of 55, like 100 millionths of an ETH. 55 ETH for 100 million addresses at $2,880 US, or about 158,000. Faking record high activity on a network cost less than $200,000 USD. That is a great point. And if you want to run some marketing schemes, that's exactly what you do. Fake a bunch of addresses, and not fake addresses, but a bunch of trash transactions, was just super random. Like, who's sending, a millionth of a dollar to anyone for any reason other than maybe to activate a smart contract? Welcome in on Discord, Yo Daddy. Good to have you here. All right. So let's see. We got that. Dr. Eth, good. Harog. Oh, man. Harog's been tearing it up. I got to say it again. He got a triple kill on one of the dailies. I think he got duded probably 4 or 5 times this week alone. He's ripping, man. It's amazing. All right. Harog helped to set something in motion. Things are now in motion that cannot be undone. I mentioned 10 days ago that I will be giving a talk at DevCon about RISC-V CPU-based boards for node operators, and there's a link to the Reddit post. The talk is now scheduled for next Thursday, which is the 14th of November. So that would have been yesterday, our time. And the schedule to DevCon's there. My colleague and I are still working on the slides, but we're getting there. In the meantime, some Gnosis team members became aware of our project and started to get interested in it. They looped a few core devs into it, and they plan to arrange a meeting at DevCon with us. Might meet a few of my heroes next week. Some of the core devs, unsurprisingly, are super hardware nerds and jumped on the opportunity to run their clients on the new hardware. One of the Geth devs really wanted to buy all available board types immediately to play around with them. And just a few hours ago, Peter Sizlagi, I can't always screw up his name, I apologize, tweeted that Geth now provides Docker images for RISC-V out of the box. And if there's a better way to say this, please let me know. Is it receive? All right, and there's the rest of the post. So one of our own Mavericks, Harog, is out there chumming it up with the Gnosis gang and getting some love from the Geth team, it looks like, as well. This is cool, man. Good on you. User BegoGel12 OG tells us a crazy crypto tale. In the wild world of crypto, BegoGel12 is a duder number 28. In the wild world of crypto, some stories just keep getting crazier. Here's one that involves whales, FTX, and DeFi, and one infamous character, Humpy the whale. Gather in, children. Back in 22, Humpy, a major holder of Balancer tokens, made headlines by leveraging Balancer's V tokenomics in a high-stakes move to gain significant control. With the largest share of VBAL, he directed the protocol rewards back to his own holdings, effectively seizing control over Balancer's governance. This led to a tenuous truce where Humpy remained a major VBAL holder, securing a continuous stream of rewards, but agreed to not act against Balancer's interests openly. Oh my gosh, trust me, bro, right? Fast forward to 2024, and Humpy's name resurfaced, this time in Compound, where he attempted a similar governance play. But here's where it gets even more interesting. A recent Twitter thread on FTX creditor clawbacks claims that Humpy wasn't just stirring the DeFi waters. He was also allegedly siphoning funds from FTX. At one point, he was reportedly worth over $1 billion on FTX, successfully pulling out $450 million and $230 million by manipulating low liquidity markets with coins like BTMX, MOB, BAO, Tomo, and SXP, or as some would call them, shitcoins. FTX's intertwined losses with Alameda are significant. By April 2021, Caroline Ellison, then CEO of Alameda, estimated that Alameda had taken on $400 million in losses from Mob Guy. Later, an FTX employee estimated total losses nearing $1 billion linked to these manipulations. By the way, Humpy circumvented KYC by using emails like motherofallburgers@protonmail.com, turkey pizza kebab at int. Anyway, all these different addresses, slipping past safeguards multiple times. Food coins, anyone? Tracing back these accounts unveils potential links to money laundering, Ponzi schemes, and organized crime networks spanning Polish, Romanian, and Ukrainian syndicates, with connections to human trafficking and even terrorist financing networks. This is more than just an anecdote. Humpy's story illustrates the deep, complex webs within the crypto world. The lines between DeFi innovation, centralized exchange exploitation, and organized crime still blurring. The story also unveils the incompetence and greed of FTX and SBF, allowing this behavior and led many customers with a loss. Official complaint if you find here for download with some more info. Allegedly, there are links between Humpy and a variety of money laundering operations and Ponzi schemes dating back more than a decade. Also, there are ties to Polish, Romanian, and Ukrainian organized crime networks. And there's a link for more information, including the original Twitter post. Awesome. That's so good. What a great story. I mean, not great for people who lost money, but it's a tale, about how these guys, how do you get around KYC with all these email addresses and whatnot? So anyway, if anybody has any comments on YouTube or in the chat here on Discord, let me know. This is pretty deep. Very good. Benito 2030 discusses L1 and L2 scaling. The FUD is back, but let's have a closer look, especially the Celestia part is funny and showing bag bias. There is one tweet in there that I think makes a good point. The L1 is why Ethereum is winning. The multi-chain game right now and not the Cosmos hub, even though Cosmos realized multi-chain earlier on. Path dependence and balance of power matters. Ethereum L1 was the center of crypto, so L2s naturally grew out of it. I am in favor of scaling L1 despite knowing that down the road, every effing L1 will need L2s to scale because the path dependence is a thing, and we can't let the advantage of this ecosystem has slipped. Down the road, L2s are inevitable. That is, as far as I know, one of the main reasons for researchers and Vitalik for not scaling layer 1 anymore. They see it similar to the difficulty bomb we had when ETH was still proof of work. While I get the idea, I think it's wrong. We will never scale L1 to fit all the transactions of the world, but we should scale one in the meantime and invest some core dev time to keep the position. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Benito 2030 is a Duder 154. Great questions. Austin ST rounds up day 1 at DevCon 7. All right. Yay. Finally, DevCon. So this is reflecting on DevCon from a couple of days ago. Okay. I stopped by the venue yesterday to pick up my wristband, which was peaceful and truly the calm before the storm. There's something like 12,000 people with DevCon tickets. So now that everyone has arrived, it's a massive event. It's big and there's a lot going on. So it's possible to spend the better part of the day just wandering around. Today I did have some other responsibilities, but spent most of the day at the venue. Made it to some talks, but in the end, not too many. Talks all have QR codes displayed on the side of the screen, which you can scan to get access to a Q&A page to submit questions for after the talk, or upvote other people's questions if you like. There's also some way to mint a card NFT thing associated with each talk, but you have to scan this QR code that only appears in person, not on the stream. I did manage to get the card minting working on my phone, but the Q&A tech worked well. I was very surprised to see that the conference provided plenty of snacks, beverages, and even a full lunch, and somehow they didn't run out. With 12,000 hungry attendees, well done, organizers. Oh, and the frogs. People love the frogs. This is a DevCon Zoo Pass initiative to demonstrate use cases of programmable cryptography. In short, Prog Crypto, hence the name of the project, Frog Crypto. In short, on your DevCon ticket, there is a link to the Frog Crypto page where you can tap a button every 15 minutes to catch a digital frog. The frogs are cryptographic data structures that can be ZK verified in various ways. And last year were a basis for people to implement various demos of Frog Crypto technology. If you show this frog to the Frog Crypto people at the booth, they'll give you a frog plushie on a necklace with a unique QR code that you can scan to set it up. Then anyone else can scan your QR code to each get a copy of each other's frogs. The big goal is to catch as many frogs as you can, each one contributing to your score, which you can turn in for prizes. There's the classic frog bucket hat from last year's Dev Connect, little frog trinkets of sorts, and among the higher tier rewards, a programmable cryptography textbook for 300 frogs. Of course, the QR code is just a URL like any other, so you can always just scan your code, post it to Telegram, and have everyone else click it without having to actually interact in person. I even found a website created just today that lets anyone add their frog URL to a database where everyone can see the full list. So if you can sustain a pace of 4 frogs per minute, that's just 75 minutes of mindless tapping to earn enough to get that textbook. I'm sure by morning people have written scripts to automatically scrape frogs from the website and automatically connect with them all. Not sure how long the merch will last or if it's worth the effort to collect. On to the talks. Joseph J., co-founder of PwnDAO and board of Hackerspace, argued that crypto isn't some fantasy land disconnected from the real world. It is the real world. You can compare on-chain revenue like priority fees to other industries' revenues, or compare on-chain market capitalization with those of other industries. By those metrics, crypto purely based on on-chain metrics is a similar scale as the gaming and entertainment industries. One difference is that the number of people directly working in crypto itself is much lower than those of other industries. Joseph pointed out to the attendees in the room, you are the crypto native economy. Very good. Well said. Diego Kingston, co-founder and head of research at Aligned, delivered a lightning talk, only 7 minutes, on hash-based proof systems. I could only take notes so fast, so here are the bits and pieces. Hash-based proof systems work over smaller fields, do not require trusted setups, and make minimal security assumptions. It is easier than most proving systems to generate recursive proofs, but you need linear error correcting codes like Reed-Solomon and collision-resistant hash function. That's way over my head. Goes on from there. FRI circles. Okay, C. FRI circle Starks compiled to a set of polynomial equations and use a Merkle tree to commit and blah, blah, blah. This should have been like 30 minutes, not 7. That's crazy. Yeah, that was some high-level stuff and rapid fire. That's tough. I wish I could say I feel you, Austin. I was already left in the weeds a long time ago. Okay, Leo Lara, team lead at EF PSC, gave a lightning talk on modern ZKP compilers. In short, it sounds like compilers are getting better at including useful abstractions to make developer experiences better. Phil Diane of Flashbots laid out his priorities and roadmap for Ethereum's future. He highlighted his biggest concerns by referencing a paper affiliated with the New York Fed that looked at how to ensure regulatory cooperation of blockchains, noting MEV boost relays as a place to apply pressure. It goes on, Justin Drake Researcher at the EF presented his vision for Ethereum's next era consensus via the Beam chain. A lot has changed since the Beacon chain spec was written. And Justin thinks it's time to start the process of developing the next consensus system to replace it. We're talking mechanisms, including probably future forms of these, but today represented by FOCIL, fossil, I guess, plus APS, plus shorter slots, plus state cap, plus orbit, plus SSF, plus state transition function, plus snarkification, plus quantum resistant security, plus VDFs. Wow. Along the way, we could clean up a lot of technical debt and simplify things. Good. So I'm going to end that there. Austin, you rock, dude. Thanks for giving us your eyes on the ground, so to speak, and checking back with us. We really appreciate it. User Bart Hibb finds out that Wall Street is anticipating something. Deuter number 37. It seems that Wall Street anticipates the authorization and launch of staked ETH ETFs. An ETH ETF operator buys a staking company. This is according to Bloomberg Law. Let's see. Crypto ETF provider Bitwise buys Ether staking service Attestant. And there's a login here. It's paywalled, but Bitwise will manage $10 billion in assets after the deal. The terms of the equity and cash transaction weren't disclosed. Wow. Okay, yeah, I'll tell you what, it's I don't know about you guys, but I feel alive again. It's been pretty nutty watching everything go on. IA696 joins the chat. Good to see you. All right. Very good. Let's go with Minimal Gravitas. Discusses the Ethos phone. Minimal Gravitas, longtime contributor, Deuter number 43 for this week. Just wondering if anyone has bought the Degen Ethos phone. If so, I'd love to use a referral code from an ETH financier, the first one to reply. I've been doing a bit of research and really like the sound of the operating system. And then there's a link to Ethos Mobile, readme.io. There you go. Welcome to Ethos. Here you'll find the curation and info about our native apps, so on and so forth. It's based on Graphene OS, which is regarded as one of, if not the most, private and secure operating systems available for mobiles. Up until now, you've only been able to install it on Google Pixel phones. So I've never tried it before, and if I'm honest, I'm more excited about that than the hardware. And then there's a link to graphenos.org. Ethos adds a bunch of other stuff, most importantly, a light node, which allows the device to connect directly to Ethereum. It looks like the options for clients are Nimbus or Helios. I use Nimbus for my full node, so I guess I'll give Helios a try for the variety, though I've never actually even heard of it before. It looks like it's exclusively a light client. And then A16zcrypto.com, there's a post here about building Helios Ethereum Lite client. There's supposedly a bunch of other stuff, like the ability to mint NFTs from the camera, which I guess could be useful in an AI image-based misinformation dystopia. Oh, boy. Anyway, I really like I really sound like I'm shilling, but I haven't even bought the device yet, hence asking for a code, and certainly have no association with the project. I'm also not at all infallible, so if I've misunderstood something about it, then please do let me know, ideally before I order one if it's fatally flawed somehow. Excellent. I want to open up this thread and see if Minimal got some replies from anybody. Oh, Evan Van Ness right there. I bought a few. He didn't just buy one. He said, I bought a few. I think it's a great project to support. Any idea about the specs of the phone? Not sure why. Specs are oh my gosh, Nicola J from DeFi Saver chimed in. Specs are available at freedomfactory.io. And by the way, I don't think this will necessarily be a good phone or intended to be used as a phone, such as calling, texting, scrolling Twitter and Reddit. At least I'm thinking of it as more like a wallet, similar to Keystone or Ledger's new Flex. Though on the other hand, you'll probably be able to connect a ledger, etc., to it as a separate hardware wallet to sign things, since Android supports this. Okay, here's the referral. Frank the Tank said that he ordered one. EtherB says, I want one as well. There's an Evan Van Ness discount code. So there you go, folks. If you want to jump in, looks like a few people are getting on that wagon. If anything, just to support the company. User CMonkey82, freaking legend, announces the Lodestar update. Duder number 44, CMonkey82. Hello, Lodestar users. We're happy to announce our version 1.23 release from DevCon. This release is Mekong ready, and you'll be able to use the flag network, Mekong, to connect to the newest Pectra public testnet. For users that experience CPU illegal instruction issues, we've now defaulted to a portable version of BLST-TS, which should fix compatibility issues. And then there's a link to GitHub. There are some other performance upgrades and fixes. Oh crap, look, next up, I got on the weekly. I never read these ahead of time. So this is where I was talking about the mod team working over on our Ethereum. Basically, we need help with reporting trolls. And I'll say it here. We're still communicating with the our Ethereum mods. Tricky Troll actually met with a bunch of them in real life in Bangkok, and they had a really good discussion. We're just trying to figure out how to parameterize how we're going to communicate, because some of the original mods, they're really stuck with staying on Telegram, so we got to do a bridge thing. Just whatever the case, I don't want two camps of moderators trying to tackle our Ethereum, because we want to be under the same roof, eating at the same table, if that makes sense. What I can tell you, over the last month, I guess, since it's been maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think it's been a month, maybe a little over 2 weeks since we came on board. The Ethfinance mods have been coming in and really. We're working really close day to day with 3 of the regular Ethereum moderators that were already the more active moderators. So that's really good. And I got to tell you, it's been really smooth. My goal, this is just me personally, because we still need to get the rest of the moderators that are maybe not quite as outspoken, or they're on Telegram. We need to get everybody on the same roof, but I'm kind of looking at January 1st as a goal, where we would, if we get things kind of put together in the right way, we would just set our Ethfinance to private, and then everybody's on our Ethereum, and we just take the camp over there and just keep doing what we do. So the TLDR, is that the right word for this? No, it's not. Long and short, basically all technical discussion posts and stuff like that will go on the front page. And then the daily is just like the daily on Ethfinance. Price discussion, mild, policy conversations, and obviously price action stuff. So it'll be really nice. That sub really does still suffer from a lot of spam and a lot of click farm activity. It comes in pretty quick. It's an obvious target. It's just the biggest help and the biggest lift would be that the Ethfinanciers start contributing in the daily over there every now and then. You just copy and paste stuff as you chat, and hit that report button, because we got some good response going on, and I think if we can just take out the trash and just do what we do, it's been good from the moderator team standpoint. We just gotta get the rest of everybody under the same roof, and away we go. So that's all I got. Really appreciate you hanging out on Discord today. You guys can Check out the podcast at pods.media. It'll be on Libsyn. You can get it on Apple. You can get it on Spotify. We put it everywhere. Thanks to the Octant funding round, we got a little bit of cash in the purse now, and we're able to cover some things. And we're looking to do some advertising at some point. We just got to figure out kind of how to best market this. And yeah, so that's all I got. If you're in DevCon, you guys have fun over there. Otherwise, I will see you in Denver. Stick around after the live stream because we continue the party in the hotel lobby on Discord for a bonus hour of popcorn. It's a great place to let loose when the parents aren't watching on YouTube. Hi, Mom. On behalf of Ethfinance and the EV Mavericks DAO, my name is JT. Cheers and big hugs from Kansas City.